Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Right now, as you listen to these words, there is a divine opportunity knocking at your door, one that could change everything within the next 24 hours. I'm not talking about some vague hope or empty promise. This is the reality of Allah's law of moving in your life, whether you feel it or not. You might be thinking, why the next 24 hours? That's such a short time. But that's exactly the point. Sometimes, the smallest window holds the greatest transformation. Like the seed that breaks through the soil overnight, or the sunrise that turns night into day in an instant. These moments are powerful because they are timed perfectly by the one who knows what you need before you do. You may be walking through a day that feels ordinary, maybe even heavy. Maybe you've been waiting for a sign, a breakthrough, or just a little relief. And here it is, the reminder that the next 24 hours are charged with unseen possibilities because Allah's love never sleeps, never tires, and never stops working in the lives of those He chooses. This love is not conditional on your perfection or your current situation. It is constant, persistent, and overwhelmingly powerful. It's the kind of love that moves mountains and changes hearts, starting with yours. Now, you might be skeptical. Maybe you're thinking, I've heard this before. What's different this time? The difference is you. The difference is your readiness to believe that your story isn't over, that you have not been forgotten, and that even the darkest nights have a dawn appointed by Allah. The next 24 hours could bring clarity where there was confusion, peace where there was unrest, a new strength where you felt weak. Imagine that, a complete reset, a spiritual awakening, or a breakthrough in your personal journey, all sparked within a single day. Here's a little secret. The universe might seem like a chaotic place, but Allah's love is the steady current beneath it all. While others are busy chasing distractions, you're being invited into stillness. While the world spins on in confusion, you have the chance to step into alignment. And yes, it will require faith. It will ask you to trust beyond what you can see or feel right now. But isn't that the very essence of belief? Trusting that what is unseen is more real than what is seen? In the next 24 hours, there could be moments when your heart feels stirred unexpectedly. A thought that won't leave you alone. A verse, a prayer, or even a simple word that resonates deeply. Don't ignore these nudges. They're not coincidences. They are whispers of Allah's love, drawing you closer to your purpose. Think of them like gentle taps on a locked door, waiting for you to open and step inside. So as you listen, don't just hear these words, feel them. Let them sink in like water into thirsty soil. The next 24 hours are a gift. Not just a countdown, but a sacred window where your life can change. Because Allah's love is alive and active in ways you cannot yet imagine. And if you're wondering how to prepare for such a day, stay with me. We're just getting started. Because this message is for the chosen one, yes, that's you, who is ready to receive and step into the transformation waiting just ahead. The next 24 hours are unlike any other stretch of time you've lived through recently. And here's why. They are loaded with purpose. You see, Allah's timing is flawless, and the smallest moment aligned with His will can rewrite the entire story of your life. It might sound dramatic, but it's also deeply reassuring. Think about it. If you were waiting for the right moment to feel peace, strength, or direction, that moment could very well be this one. Your readiness isn't measured by how much you have figured out, but by your willingness to step into the unknown with faith. Imagine the way a river carves through rock, not by force but by persistence over time. That's exactly how the next 24 hours can work for you. You don't have to have all the answers or the perfect plan. You just need to show up, fully present, fully open. Allah's love isn't limited by your circumstances or your past mistakes. It flows like a relentless current beneath your daily struggles, quietly reshaping your path. And here's the kicker. This transformation doesn't come with fanfare. It's subtle. It's unseen. But it's incredibly real. You may ask, what does this look like in my life? Well, it might be a sudden moment of clarity when you're overwhelmed with confusion. It might be an unexpected relief after weeks of tension. Or maybe it's a small but powerful decision that shifts your mindset from doubt to hope. These things often don't make headlines, but they make history in your soul. Think of it like planting seeds in a garden you haven't yet seen. Patience and faith are required, but the harvest is promised. It's natural to feel cautious about this message. After all, life often teaches us to expect disappointment. But here's a gentle reminder. Allah's love is not like the world's love, which fades or conditions affection on performance. Allah's love is constant. It sees you at your lowest and whispers, "You are chosen." And because of that, the next 24 hours carry more weight than you realize. You're standing at a threshold, and the next step you take could move you into a season of unprecedented peace and purpose. Now, don't mistake this for a simple feel-good message. This opportunity demands a kind of spiritual readiness, an openness to let go of what no longer serves you, a willingness to surrender control, and a courage to trust in the unseen plan. Sometimes that's easier said than done, right? But remember, faith doesn't mean having all the answers. It means trusting that the one who created you also knows the perfect timing for every blessing. You might also notice that during these hours, distractions start to lose their appeal. The things that once consumed your attention now feel empty or even exhausting. That's no coincidence. Allah's love begins to recalibrate your desires, steering you away from what's superficial and toward what's eternal. It's as if your soul is waking up from a long sleep, stretching and reaching for something more substantial. And speaking of distractions, isn't it funny how sometimes the hardest person to convince is yourself? You know you need change, but you keep putting it off, telling yourself, "Tomorrow, I'll be ready." Well, here's a little nudge. Tomorrow might never come. The next 24 hours might be the very window you've been waiting for. So why wait any longer? So, chosen one, take a deep breath. The next 24 hours hold more than just time. They hold a promise. Not a vague hope, but a firm assurance that Allah's love is ready to work miracles in your life. And the best part? You don't have to figure it all out right now. You just have to be willing to walk toward the light that's already shining quietly in the distance. There's a subtle feeling rising inside you, a sensation that can't be ignored, even if you try. It's a stirring in your heart that hints at something greater about to unfold. You may find yourself drawn to moments of silence, to prayers that once felt routine now carrying new weight, or to thoughts that won't let you rest. This is not mere coincidence. It's Allah's love, reaching through the noise of life, reminding you that the next 24 hours could be your turning point. This quick-to-white urgency is a sign that your spirit is awakening and preparing for what's next. You might notice that your usual distractions are losing their hold. Things that once brought comfort feel hollow, and even simple pleasures don't satisfy like before. It's like your soul has been craving something deeper but didn't know what until now. That craving is a spiritual invitation. An invitation to step beyond the familiar and into a space where transformation is possible. The truth is, this kind of longing is a beautiful sign. It means you're not settling. You're hungry for Allah's love, in a way that can't be watered down. It's also common to feel a bit restless or uneasy when this awakening starts. That discomfort isn't a problem, it's a process. Think of it like the stretching pain before a muscle grows stronger. Spiritual growth rarely feels comfortable at first. But that discomfort is a form of divine preparation. Allah is gently breaking old patterns, shaking loose the chains of complacency, and making room for the new season waiting for you. This is why you might feel both excited and anxious at the same time. Because growth and change are intertwined with challenge. Sometimes, the signs that this shift is near show up as moments of clarity in the midst of confusion. You might suddenly see your life from a new perspective, or understand a difficult situation in a way you never did before. Other times, it comes through feelings of peace that surprise you, even when external circumstances haven't changed. These glimpses are gifts, reminders that Allah's love is working quietly but powerfully behind the scenes, orchestrating your next breakthrough. What's important now is to recognize these signs and not dismiss them. And many miss the blessings simply because they fail to notice the subtle work of Allah's love. The next 24 hours could be filled with such moments if you remain open and attentive. This is not about waiting passively, but about awakening your spiritual senses to what is already happening. It's about listening carefully to the whispers of your soul and the gentle nudges toward transformation. And don't be discouraged if this process feels slow or invisible to those around you. Spiritual change often happens in private long before it becomes visible publicly. While the world chases instant gratification and quick fixes, you're being prepared for something deeper and lasting. This kind of transformation isn't loud or flashy. It's quiet, steady, and profoundly effective. And it requires your patience and faith. Remember, Allah's love is not dependent on your perfection or readiness. It moves toward you even in your doubts, your fears, and your weaknesses. The fact that you feel this stirring inside is evidence that you are chosen for something greater, that you are on the edge of a divine moment that could redefine your path. So stay alert, stay hopeful, and get ready for the next 24 hours, because they could change your life forever. The concept of being ready to receive Allah's love in a way that truly transforms your life is deeper than many realize. It's not just about preparing your external circumstances or saying the right prayers. Spiritual readiness requires a shift inside, a willingness to be vulnerable, to release control, and to surrender fully to the process that Allah is guiding you through. This kind of readiness is not passive. It demands courage, honesty, and a deep self-examination that can be uncomfortable but is necessary. Often, we think we're ready because we have good intentions or because we attend religious activities regularly. But true readiness is a heart condition. It means your spirit is open enough to accept change, even when it threatens your comfort zones or challenges long-held beliefs. It means you recognize that growth is not always pleasant, but that it is always purposeful. When you are spiritually ready, you stop resisting the nudges that come from within, even if they disrupt your plans or your peace temporarily. Being prepared to receive Allah's transformative love also means confronting your doubts and fears. It means not hiding from the parts of yourself that feel broken or unworthy. Instead, you lean into those parts with faith that Allah's love is greater than your shortcomings. This is where true healing begins, not when everything is perfect, but when you accept that imperfection is part of the human journey and that divine love is enough to carry you through. You may notice that during this phase, your perspective on past struggles shifts. What once felt like failures or setbacks now starts to reveal itself as preparation. The difficult moments you endured weren't punishments, but lessons wrapped in challenges. Allah's love has been there all along, using every experience to mold you into someone capable of handling the blessings coming your way. But spiritual readiness isn't just about looking inward. It also calls for action. It calls for making choices that align with the growth you desire. Sometimes that means setting boundaries, saying no to things or people that no longer serve your higher purpose, or stepping into responsibilities you've avoided. These actions are signs of readiness because they show that you're no longer content with surface-level faith. You want the real thing, the kind of love that changes your thoughts, your habits, and your destiny. And here's a little truth that might surprise you. Readiness doesn't require perfection. You don't have to have it all figured out to receive Allah's love. You just need to be willing to be honest about where you are and to say yes to the journey. Often, the greatest breakthroughs come not from the strongest, but from those who dare to show up, flaws and all, trusting that Allah's love will fill in the gaps. So if you're feeling a mixture of hope and hesitation right now, know that it's normal. Spiritual readiness is a process, not a one-time event. It's a daily decision to trust, to surrender, and to move forward even when the path isn't clear. And as you make that choice, you'll find that Allah's love begins to transform your life in ways you never imagined possible. Remember, the next 24 hours aren't just a countdown. They're an invitation to step into that readiness, to open your heart fully and embrace the divine love that is waiting to change your life from the inside out. You might be wondering, is Allah's love really active in my life right now? Does it actually reach me in the middle of my struggles and doubts? The answer is yes, more than you realize. Allah's love is not distant or passive. It is dynamic, intentional, and constantly at work, even when you feel invisible or forgotten. It's like the air you breathe, unseen but essential for life. And the best part is, this love doesn't depend on your perfection or your achievements. It flows freely to the chosen ones who are willing to receive it with open hearts. Sometimes, when life feels overwhelming, we look for signs in big events or dramatic moments. But most of the time, Allah's love shows up quietly, in the gentle peace that settles during prayer, in a comforting thought that interrupts worry, or in the resilience that helps you rise after a setback. This quiet presence is a powerful reminder that you are never truly alone. Even in your darkest hours, the love of Allah is closer than your next breath. Here's a little secret to keep your heart encouraged. Allah's love is so vast that it includes your flaws, your mistakes, and your doubts. You don't have to have it all together to be worthy of this love. In fact, it's often those who feel broken or unprepared who are the most deeply loved, because they understand the power of mercy and grace. This is why the next 24 hours could be a time when that love breaks through barriers you didn't even know were holding you back. And let's be honest, sometimes spiritual journeys can feel lonely or even boring. Waiting for change doesn't always come with fireworks. But here's a witty reminder. Growth isn't a viral TikTok dance. It's more like a slow-cooked meal. It takes time, patience, and the right ingredients. You might not feel like celebrating yet, but every moment of faithfulness adds up. This love is cooking your transformation behind the scenes, even when you can't taste it yet. So if you're feeling discouraged because progress seems slow or invisible, remember this: the seed doesn't sprout immediately after planting. It takes time underground before it breaks through the surface. Allah's love is working in the soil of your soul right now, preparing you for a harvest you can't yet see. Trust the process. As you stand on the edge of this divine moment, it's important to realize that the next 24 hours are not just about external change. They are about an internal awakening. This is the time to stop hesitating and start responding to the call that has been gently whispering to your heart. You may have doubts, fears, or uncertainties, and that's okay. None of us are perfect. But the beauty of Allah's love is that it embraces you fully, even with all your imperfections. It doesn't wait for you to be flawless. It simply waits for you to be willing. This willingness to receive is your key to crossing over into a new season of peace, purpose, and spiritual renewal. The door has been opened, the invitation extended. Now it's your turn to step through with confidence. No longer will the past define you, nor will your struggles dictate your future. Allah's love is rewriting your story, and the next 24 hours hold the power to set that transformation in motion. You don't have to carry your burdens alone anymore. The weight that has slowed you down will begin to lift as you surrender it into the hands of the one who is the most merciful, the most compassionate. Remember, mercy is not a distant concept. It is a present reality, available to you at every moment. Each prayer you utter, each intention you renew, and each act of faith brings you closer to the peace you seek. And yes, the path ahead may not be easy. But you are not being called to comfort. You are being called to purpose. Sometimes, purpose asks us to walk through trials, to endure hardships, and to persist when the outcome is unseen. Yet, it is within these challenges that the deepest love of Allah is revealed. It is in the struggle that the soul grows resilient and the spirit shines brightest. So as you prepare to embrace the next 24 hours, know this: you are chosen, you are loved beyond measure, and you are capable of receiving the blessings that are being prepared specifically for you. Do not let fear hold you back. Do not wait for the perfect moment, because this moment is perfect precisely because it's now. And as promised, let me close with a heartfelt prayer for you and everyone listening. May Allah envelop your heart in His infinite love and mercy. May He grant you clarity in your decisions, strength in your trials, and peace that surpasses all understanding. May the next 24 hours be a gateway to blessings you have yet to imagine. May your faith deepen, your spirit renew, and your path be illuminated with guidance from the most compassionate. May you walk boldly forward, knowing that Allah's love is your constant companion and your greatest support. Ameen. Take this prayer with you as a shield and a promise. Your life is about to change in ways you cannot yet see, but Allah sees it all. Trust Him, step forward, and watch how His love transforms your world.